so you can go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. And that means we have 48 runners on the track.
Well, this is going to make for our final individual event of day one here at New Balance Nationals Outdoors 2025. It's been a day full of drama, both in form of the weather and the results. Some fantastic performances, but you thought you saw lots of athletes in those 1 mile races. Let me tell you, we have combined 2 sections of the Championship Girls 5,000, and that means that we have, in theory, 48 talented girls taking to the track for this 12.5 lap race.
I have a feeling that this shot will be on Twitter later because this is a ton of athletes.
Just as we saw in the boys' race, we're expecting to see a 2-alley race for the beginning of this lap just to make sure that all these runners are safe. But as they make their way around, surely they will start sorting themselves out in terms of position. Championship 5,000 meter at the Outdoor New Balance Nationals. The meet record held by Hannah Ray Schaefer at 16:37.73. That was set 2 years ago. Last year's winner, 16:42.90. And of course, national lead belongs to Jade Hendegren, who is not here, but ran an absolutely astounding 14:57.93. Serenity, I went to the Olympics in this event, and I didn't run that fast, and she's in high school.
What? Trackflation. What did we say?
Trackflation, I'm telling you.
Literally trackflation. That's absolutely insane, Kate.
And it also speaks to the talent level of the high school leader, let's be honest.
No, it absolutely does. And it looks like who took the lead pretty early on, that's Ava Jarrell from Indiana. She's also an Indiana commit. She's up there in the black top. But to her inside is Julia Score.
Yeah, the pride of Indiana, the 11th grader. She's looking really strong right now. Again, it's so hard to separate these athletes right now. We mentioned 48 on paper are taking to the field, and that means that there's lots of traffic. In fact, this is maybe the most impressive thing about this field early on, Serenity. We only have 1 scratch.
Wow.
That's right. 48 girls were set to take to this field. 47 of them are on the track at the moment after multiple weather delays. Again, like you said, the parents pay a lot of money. The kids work really hard. The coaches are committed.
Absolutely.
It all coalesces into this beautiful set of perfect circumstances for a fantastic performance. And things looking a little pedestrian at the moment. Look at this. This is more like a cross-country fartlek workout than it might be an actual 5,000 meter championship race. We will expect things to keep clicking along. I think these athletes just knowing how many girls are on the track, not wanting to exert more energy than they need to early days, but it's going to have to be someone who's going to make a move because otherwise things will continue to bunch up. And wearing hip number 21, that is Virginia Kraus right now, who has decided that she is going to take the lead. And why not? She's right here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Put on a show for the home favorites.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, I mean, they're here. They traveled all the way here. I can hear their, I know what my mom would say. She would say, you're getting on the line. And that's just that. Sorry.
Well, getting on the line and then making the most of it. And as they come around that turn into the home stretch, things are starting to string out. So that means that the pace is clipping along nicely. Again, it just takes a few laps to sort out this many athletes. And when you can kind of find your stride, find your position, that's where the separations start to happen. It's a little bit difficult to see there on screen, but there really are 2 races developing. There's a front pack of about a dozen plus, and then a few stragglers, and then a back half of the pack. Again, this was meant to be 2 sections, and they've combined them all into one. So we may see some lapping happening eventually. But right now up front, it continues to be our local athlete, Virginia Kraus, the junior out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. She's shorter in stature, but very strong, very muscular. She's looking really good at the moment. And following her is Maya Sirwas. And Sirwas out of Barrington, Illinois, just a 10th grader, 9:59 for the 3,200 earlier this season, Indiana state champion, and was 8th in the 1 mile at New Balance Nationals indoors this year.
And Mia Serwa is just working to her outside, actually. She ran the 3200 at the Music City Track Carnival. That was this month. So she has some racing under her, which is good.
Yeah, again, these athletes, for all intents and purposes, as we said, this is a very, very high-level exhibition meet. That's what you want at this level. No one's trying to qualify for nationals. Hey, here we are. We're at nationals. Of course, these times matter. The meet records matter. It matters for your resume. But this is an opportunity to showcase all of the work you put in, not only in the outdoor season. Serenity, you get this. These runners have been working hard indoors, and especially in an event like this, they've been working hard since September.
Oh, absolutely.
They ran a full cross-country season. They ran a full indoor season. Here they are on display on the outdoor circuit and just absolutely dominating, looking brilliant. They're making a good move is Callista Garmer, one of two Garmer sisters that we're going to see out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Callista Garmer, 16th at New Balance Nationals indoors in the 2-mile. She is the Tennessee Division II state champion. Just a junior, but full of talent and brimming with confidence.
And also a little bit of the taller athlete on the outside there is Mallory Weller from Cadet Distance Project out of Indiana as well. There's a lot of Indiana athletes in this, but she was kind of the surprise winner of the New Balance Nationals indoor 2-mile this year. I'm interested to see when she's going to decide to kick. She's on the outside. As you can see, she's the one staturing over everybody else.
Well, that continues to be Serwas in the lead. We talked about the Illinois presence, Barrington's own Mia Serwas, and continuing to just create some separate. She's really testing the field. She's saying, all right, I'm going to throw in some surges here. Who's going to have the guts to come with me? Abby Faith Cheeseman is one to watch, and she has moved herself decisively into second. That diminutive figure who has so much incredible experience behind her. She was third last year in 16:45. She has entered in the 800 and the 1-mile, so she's got speed. She's got a ton of endurance behind her. She's headed to Virginia, and she is one of the most poised athletes I've ever seen. Listen to a post-race interview with Abby Faith Cheeseman. She will tell you exactly how to run every race, and every time she talks about it, it comes to fruition.
Well, you know what you call that, Kate? From the 800 all the way up to the 5K, you call that range. And I think that's exactly what some of these athletes need going into college, because once she gets up to Virginia, the coaches will end up picking what she's really good at. It'll kind of just fall into place, but she's giving them options.
Such a good point. That's what, most of these collegiate coaches are looking for, is that range of options. Put those words together, that is a perfect package. More importantly, though, Abby Faith, she's professional, she's committed, she's focused, but she always seems to have a good time with it as well. She unfortunately had a hard fall at the indoor New Balance Nationals this year, ended up finishing 13th in that 2-mile race, still rallied. And again, shows her sensibility. It shows her ability to come back from difficulty and overcome adversity, as all of these runners have after these weather delays. So Abby Faith Cheeseman sits in second out of Bell Buckle in Tennessee. But just ahead of her, our longtime leader in this race, wearing hip number 17, that is Mia Serwas, the youngster.
And then who moved up in 4th place just now was Caroline Trevette from Cardinal Track Club out of Gainesville, Virginia. She was 7th in this event last year. But this is her senior year. I'm sure she wants the top 3 position, podium spot. So she's hanging with the gang up there in the front.
Hanging with the gang, and it is a gang of about 7 girls at the moment. Call it 6 plus 1. And we are into the real meat of this race now. 8:40 on the clock. We are not far away from that 3,000-meter mark, and this is where things get really interesting in a 5K. This is where it's a little bit do or die. You know that you are starting to feel the fatigue. You also know that you have a decent amount of racing left to go. And let me tell you, Serenity, when I got to 3,000 meters in my 5,000, that's where you have to make a choice. Every lap is a choice to stay with the pace. I talked about diving headfirst or full feet into that hurt locker. You have to commit to that and just go with it every single step of this race.
Absolutely. And I like where Abby Faith Cheeseman's position is. I was looking at her eyes, and she's keeping it right on her heels, which is exactly what you need, right on Mia Sirois' heels.
Well, again, Abby Faith has had such a storied career in her high school performances. She's been all over the top 3, top 5 performance list. She's in the record books, and she's, again, overcome adversity. She knows what it's like literally to fall and come back. So that counts for so much in a race like this, because she can draw on all the adversity that she's overcome in the past and say, hey, you can throw anything at me, and I know I can handle it because I've faced almost anything that you can give me at this point.
Absolutely, and I think it shows how much resilience and grit that she really has.
She is headed to the University of Virginia in the fall. She's that smaller figure tucked into second right now. And this group of 5, my goodness, could you ask for a more talented quintet? But for the longest time now, at the front, it has continued to remain Sirois. She's very comfortable tucked in up front. And this is where things get interesting. We are just about 5.5 minutes away from crowning our champion. Those 5 working really well together. Sirois has done so much work up front. She is really breaking all of that wind and setting the tone for the rest of the field. That's a tough spot to be in. She's happy there, though. And you know what? If you feel confident, this is what my coach always said. If you feel confident up front, stick with it. It's not a blazing pace. It's fast. It's good. It's a very solid pace, but it's not out of this world. So if you feel good in that position, you may as well lead it. You're going to keep things clicking along. You're going to be able to feel any challenge on your outside shoulder and respond to it. And as I say that, we're seeing Abby Faith maybe just making a little bit of a move there. And a number of our New Balance NIL athletes, 4 of those 5, in fact, New Balance athletes showing what they're made of here.
Absolutely. And in third position right now is Kalsta Garmer. She's also out of Knoxville, Tennessee. She was 16th in the New Balance Nationals indoor 2-mile. In the 3,200 last year as well.
Yeah, Kalista Garmer looking really strong there. And she is also, of course, joined in this meet by her sister Jasmine. The Garmer sisters have just been showing up time and time again. Kalista Garmer, no stranger to New Balance Nationals, as you said, Serenity. And now for the first time, we're seeing a little bit perhaps of a challenge up for the lead.
Now these ladies are starting to go for it, Kate.
Well, that is Abby Faith Cheeseman, who has just been stalking our leader, Sirois, this whole time. Again, she's a strong 800 runner. She's a strong miler. She's a strong cross-country athlete. This girl is the whole package. She's headed to Virginia. They are the very fortunate recipients of a tremendously talented and wide-ranging runner in the form of Abby Faith Cheeseman. She fell indoors. She is not going to let that happen again. She's moving to the outside now. Not much distance separates these 5 runners from glory here at New Balance Nationals outdoors. Many of them seniors, many of them here for their very last time. And they are looking to put their mark not only on this field, but on the competition more generally and cement their names in the history books. So Abby Faith Cheeseman now into the home straight. Sirois has done so much of the work. Full credit goes to her for setting the tone for the rest of the field. She has not relinquished her lead yet. She is hesitant to give it up. She is covering every challenge. And this is what I love. She's holding that really tight line on the inside. She is running the shortest distance. She is forcing every athlete to run around her if they want to dare to pass her. Many have tried. So far, none have succeeded. Servas just matching every single change of pace, every single stride made. Abby Faith Cheeseman has made that challenge multiple times. She has mounted effort after effort, but unsuccessful so far in taking the lead, and a quintet down to 4 as we come down to the final 600 meters.
I think at this point she just needs to take it if she's going to. Running with her right there, shoulder to shoulder, is not the best move to do going into the curve, because it can get pretty difficult when she has that advantage to the inside. But if she can slingshot herself off of this curve, then she will be successful.
Mia Serwas has done all of the hard work. Abby Faith Cheeseman, and this is where it gets interesting, because they are going to have to go around some lapped athletes.
Ooh.
It is going to be Callista Garmer now on the inside sneak attack.
Yeah.
She will hear the bell at 15:08 unofficially. This is going to be crazy fast. Look at the turnover now. Callista Garmer going for it, gunning for home, and absolutely leaving the field in her wake. Lots of running left to go, but as they come into the last 300 meters, Callista Garmer is in a class of her own, Serenity.
Callista Garmer really used the athletes that they were passing to her advantage, because they got a little bit distracted with the athletes that they were lapping, but she just went for it, kind of used them as a cover, and look at her go.
Garmer will enter the final 200 meters well ahead of the rest of the field. There is traffic to contend with. She is making great use of it, and what a final lap this is going to be for Garmer. Keep your eye on the clock. We're only at 16 minutes right now. Garmer moving towards the lead. It is going to be Garmer surely taking the title. A hard challenge from behind now, but it has been left too late. With 20 meters to go, it is going to be Garmer taking the win. And she will come across in 16:18. And that is a giant new meet record here at New Balance Nationals Outdoors.
And what an insane charge from Natasha Dudek. It was 16:18.78, but it was all Callista Garmer. What a year Callista Garmer has been having. She's the Tennessee Division II state champion. She's already run 10 minutes in the 3,200 this year. She was 16th, though, Kate, at New Balance Nationals Indoor in the 2-mile. But she wanted to get this win today, and not only did she get it, she got a new meet record.
Callista Garmer showing up when it matters. What a race. Hands on the head. She can hardly believe it. She's joined by sister Jaslyn in 5th position. But Callista Garmer, new meet record by an enormous margin. In fact, well, several of our top athletes, at least 5 under that former record. And Natasha Dudek, she is only a 9th grader. She could be in the freshman race, comes through. She was part of that quintet that became a quartet, that became a trio, and eventually came home with the 2nd position. 16:18 as a 9th grader. Well done by Dudek, but Callista Garmer, this is going to be a race to remember.
Absolutely. Just as a junior, I love seeing the surprise winners, if you will. I wouldn't necessarily call her an underdog, because she's been at these New Balance Nationals before, but I was just not expecting for her to make the charge that she did. Like I said, she kind of used the athletes that they lapped to her advantage, distracted the other girls because they were all bunched up. And hopefully we can take another look at it. But they were all bunched up as they were lapping some of the athletes. But then they divided and conquered, and she just went for it.
Well, she sure did. And again, never think about a previous experience unless it's a good one. Think about what you're capable of. That's what we saw on track tonight.
Absolutely. And just so many girls in this heat. 47 total girls to run. And there weren't any falls, I gotta mention. But Callista Garmer just absolutely dominating. Even getting charged by Dudek right behind her, but she just ran out of track because it was all Garmer.
Well, we're getting word that Natasha Dudek, we should mention, 2nd fastest time in history in the state of Michigan by a freshman. 16:18.78. brilliant performance, and full credit goes as well to our third place finisher, Serwas. She really set the tone for this race, did so much of that hard work up front. The Barrington, Illinois, I should say she's only a sophomore. Lots of racing left to come for her, but she is going to take third place here at New Balance Nationals Outdoors 2025, the fastest party on the planet.